In this video, I'm going to show you how I open up underglaze jars when the lids get stuck. I'm also going to show you how I sieve my underglaze when I notice I have like dried bits of underglaze that have gotten into the well of my underglaze, my wet underglaze in my jar. So this is a jar of Dunkin's Kentucky Bluegrass. I don't know that they're making it anymore, but it's one of my favorite colors. And man, I can't get the lid open. So I just take the underglaze jar, just have a little bucket of water, and I just stick it in the bucket of water. You know, I count to 10 or 15, something like that. And that's just enough to loosen up the underglaze, making it easy to open. Now, if I open up this underglaze, you can see it's a well-loved jar of underglaze. There's bits and pieces and it's kind of messy. So it's not great when your underglaze jars get like this. And let's be honest, my underglaze jars definitely get like this. When I'm in a zone and I'm just making stuff and painting, I don't take the time to wipe each jar off after I'm done using it because I'm moving on to the next thing and the next thing. So usually after I get done with a big project or something, I will then go back and do a little underglaze jar care with my underglaze and kind of clean them up. But if I need to sieve my underglaze, let me move this out of the way. I just have an old yogurt container here, and this is just a small sieve that I bought at a kitchen supply store. What I'm going to do is just pour the underglaze in like this, and you can see most of the underglaze goes through just fine, but there's quite a bit of underglaze stuck at the bottom of the jar. This is the sieve that I normally use, and the sieve is actually a little too big to stick in my underglaze jar, so you have two options. You can actually go and, this is not a sieve. This is a sieve. This is a spatula. Sometimes my words, they escape me. Anyway, so what you can do is go to just any kind of store that sells kitchen supplies, and you can get a small skinny spatula. You can use your finger, which is usually the Terri Kern method, or you can use any variety of tools that you have in your studio. So you can see at the bottom of my underglaze jar is this. So I'm just gonna actually put this right in the sieve, and I'm gonna sieve it. So I'm gonna get all that underglaze out, or as much of it as I can, because you know, nobody likes to waste good underglaze. Something about ceramics, we just love making a mess, don't we? I'm just gonna rinse my fingers off. Dry them off with my apron. And now, using my spatula, I'm just gonna try and move this underglaze through the spatula. Now you can see that it's not working great because that underglaze is really stiff. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of water. I'm just gonna spray it in like this. I don't wanna add too much water. There we go. You can see now that underglaze is going through the other side. I don't want to use too much water because ultimately I want my underglaze to still be the consistency that I like. So instead of taking a bunch of water and just pouring it through, I'm just going to spritz. And like I said, that'll keep my underglaze from getting too thin. And now when I pull this out, you can see that there's a little underglaze stuck here. I'm just going to pull that underglaze off, like so. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up with my spatula. And I'm going to sieve it a second time. Oops, I'm getting a little messy, but again, ceramics. Now I'm gonna pour this underglaze back into the jar here. I'm gonna shake it up and I'm gonna sieve it again. It's kind of like, you know, when you're mixing up your clay and glazes, you kind of go through the same thing. You mix things up, you sieve, you mix them up again, you sieve again. The other option to this is to put them in some kind of little bullet mixer. I have one of those as well that I use also, but not everybody has one of those. Now I'm once again going to pour that liquid through. And you can see that this time I have a much smaller amount of underglaze that's kind of gross and sticky and pasty. Again, I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to scrape the bottom of my piece here, of my little sieve. stick it in, and that's the process that I use to actually thin out my underglazes. If I need to, if they get a little thick and there's a bunch of like hard shards in there, this is the exact process I use. So I hope this helps you in your studio to get your underglaze to a rich and creamy consistency and get rid of all those pesky hard bits. Thanks for watching.